Assalamu alaikum. My name is Arsalan Farrukh and I am a teacher of math and physics. So in this video, I will give you a brief introduction of functions. The notation of function goes like this. You have f and then a colon, then x, then an arrow pointing towards the formula of that function, which is read as f maps x onto ax plus b. In short, you can always write your function notation like this, which is fx is equal to ax plus b. So a function is used to describe a very special kind of relationship between two variables, so that one variable is an independent variable and the other is a dependent variable. So the variable over here, which is also called domain, this is the independent variable of this relationship, and then a variable fx is called range, and this is called the dependent variable of the relationship. So if I represent these values of domains and ranges as sets, and I have sets of values of x and y, then I could be probably getting into a situation so that each value of x corresponds to only one value of y. And if that happens, then this kind of a function is called one-to-one function. There is a possibility that different values of x's would correspond to a single value of y, and that is many domains would have a single range, and that would still be a function. But this is called many-to-one function, like it could be a 2-to-1 function or a 3-to-1 function and so on and so forth. But you have to be very careful that if there is any particular relationship in which one value of x corresponds to multiple values of y, which could be 2 values of y or 3 values of y and so on, then such a relationship is not called a function. So single domain can have a single range, multiple domains can have a corresponding single range, but one domain cannot have multiple ranges. So that means one independent variable cannot have two dependent variables. To understand this idea, you can take an example of the velocity of a car or the speed of the car as a function of time. So time you would be able to identify directly is an independent variable over here, whereas velocity would be a dependent variable. So you know that if you have a particular value of speed, let's say the speed is 10 meters per second, it can repeat at different times. So you can have speed of 10 meters per second repeatedly, and you accelerate, you brake, then you accelerate, and then you brake. So there would be many different times where the same value of speed might be repeated. So that is a possibility for function. But can you think of a possibility that a single value of time has many speeds? Like at one particular time, a car cannot have multiple speeds. So that means one domain cannot have multiple ranges. You can represent the same thing with the help of a diagram. So if you have a value of function being represented in a way that is always increasing, or maybe in a particular situation it's always decreasing, so that would be an example of a one-to-one function. If a function decreases and then increases and then decreases again, then that would be an example of many-to-one function. Such a diagram could not possibly be a function, because you can see that in this particular diagram, a single domain corresponds to different values of ranges. So this is not a function, but this is an example of a function where you have one range corresponding to multiple domains. So you can think of this to be speed of the car. The speed of the car decreases, then increases, and then decreases again. So the value of speed can repeat at different values of time. So first of all, talking about notation, you need to be able to do very basic calculations, like if you are given a function like this and you have to find the range for a particular domain, so you put that in place of x, and once you put that in place of x, you will find the corresponding range. Or you could be given a range, like you could be given a value of range, and you would have and you would have to find out the corresponding domain. So what you do is that in place of range, you put 3 and get the corresponding value of domain. Sometimes you could be given an unknown function, you have unknown constants involved over here, but you know that f of 1 is equal to 2. So this notation means that when domain is 1, the range is 2. So you can put 2 in place of range and 1 in place of domain. And similarly, if f of minus 1 is 3, so you can put minus 1 in place of domain and 3 in place of range. So you get yourself two simultaneous equations, you can solve these together and you can get yourself the values of a and b. So guys, this was a little introduction of function. I will post more videos to make you understand more concepts related to function after this. If you find it helpful, kindly subscribe and give a thumbs up. Thank you.